Welcome to this video on dividing decimals by whole numbers. Now, I know division is tricky, okay? So let's go step by step what to do here because I know it's confusing for people. And as soon as you say division to people, they start to panic. So here we go. I'm going to do my best to show you how to divide a number like this. So there is no decimal here right now. I don't even want you to think about decimals right now, but don't be afraid of them. Dividing this by 2, okay, yes, it's just half of it. But I want to show you this old way of doing division. I was taught this back in the 90s, maybe even the 80s, I don't even remember now, but how to do this. 2 divided into 534. You've seen me do this before, and you remember me mentioning in class, Dracula must suck blood. Okay, that's how Dracula lives. Dracula must suck blood. So the first thing you do is divide each place value. So divide is the first thing. That's what the D stands for. 2 fits into 5 how many times? So it's basically asking you 2 times a number is either 5 or really close to 5 without going over. So in this situation, we know it's 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. The number cannot multiply, like you can't have 3 there. Okay, the reason why you can't have 3, so that was the multiplication part. So we did division, did the multiplication. The reason why we can't have a larger number than 5 is because of the subtraction part. 2 times 2 is 4. So you multiply 5 minus 4, that's 1. And what does this B mean? Bring down. Done. You've done round 1. Now you got to go into round 2. 2 fits into 13 how many times? Basically saying 2 times a number is close to 13. So 2 times 6 is close. So there's your division. Now you multiply 6 times 2. There's your multiplication again. You get 12. Now you have to subtract these. Subtraction. 13 minus 12 is 1. And the B, bring down. Use the arrows. I am 40 years old and I still use the arrows to this day. So I was taught this back in grade 3 and I still do it many, many moons ago. Now we restart this whole thing again. Divide 2 into 14. So 2 times a number is close to 14. We know our times tables. It's 7. Multiply 2 times 7, 14. Now you do the subtraction. It's 0. Bring down. There's nothing to bring down, so we don't have to do it. Okay? So now if I rewrite this with a decimal, 5 decimal 34 divided by 2. Do not panic. Do it the same way. And what you need to do, as soon as you write this, put the decimal on the top. And now I can Dracula must suck blood this thing like I did the last one. Go through the same process. And there you have it. It's the same thing. So this is what you would do. Now I know the book gives all types of fancy different ways of doing it. Okay? And I'm going to show you now how to divide this with 2 digits. Okay? 2 digits is a little different. Okay? It's just a little different. It's a little bit trickier. Okay? Because you need to know how to multiply larger numbers. So let's do 30. We'll do it without the decimals to start. Okay, 30 into 196. Okay, so now 30 does not fit into 1. Can't fit into 1. I put a 0 there to block off the 1. 30 does not fit into 19 either. It just doesn't, because 19 is a smaller number. So now you have to figure out 30, how many times does it fit into 196? So this is the tricky part, because we don't know our 30 times tables, but we know our 3 times tables. And here, you just have to try, you might have to guess a little bit, but if I'm getting rid of the 0 here, I can get rid of this last number here. So now it's like saying, how many times does 3 fit into 9? And we know this is a little bit easier now. 3 times a number is equal to or close to 19. So if I do my Dracula must suck blood, I know that 3 times 6 is 18, and that's really close. Let's try it out. It might not work, but let's see. Well, we've done the division. We have to multiply 6 times 30. Well, we know 6 times 3 is 18. And just put a 0 at the end. It gives us 180. Now we're dealing with a much bigger number, but the same rule applies. You subtract that, and you get an answer of 16. And now you can bring down. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. What am I going to bring down? Well, in the old days, we would just say 6 remainder 16. Those days are over. So here, you would add a decimal. And you would add a 0. Bring down the 0. How many times does 30 fit into 160? Well, ask yourself, how many times does 3 go into 16? It's about 5. So let's have 5. 5 multiplied by 30 is 150. Subtract it, you get an answer of 10. Now, you can continue doing this on and on and on and on, but you're going to see that you're going to be getting the same answer over and over again. So I'm going to stop here, but technically you would bring down another 0. You would continue going, and you would see something that you've seen on a calculator before. How many times does 30 go into 100? The answer is 3. 90. Subtract 10. Oh, look, we have 10 again. We have 100 again. So it's going to be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. But if you look at your calculator, 196 divided by 30, see that there? You know how you've seen that number show up repeated all the time? That's what is happening. The same numbers are keep coming down, and you can't do it. So in math, we put a little line over what repeats. So that's what the answer would be. And that's how you would do two-digit multiplication. And sorry, two-digit division. Two-digit division is tricky. I encourage you to try it this way, but I know you're going to use a calculator. But as long as you understand what is happening, I'm happy with it. But I really would like you to do it this way. But I obviously cannot see what you're doing at home because we're in quarantine. So anyways, thank you for sticking to the end of this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.